Hey, this is Taylor with Major Outdoors, and I kind of want to do a different clip today about, let's say you're a co-angler and you're joining a high school league or just a co-angler in general. And this is kind of going to give a perspective of the high school league. I help out with a lot of the high school leagues in Minnesota as much as I can. And I just wanted to, the do's and don'ts of what you should bring as a co-angler who is learning how to fish. So first thing we have to start off with is safety. The biggest thing about safety in the Minnesota leagues for SATT and the other leagues, you have to wear a standard PDF. So make sure you bring one that is comfortable, hits your weight limit, and just make sure you like it, it's comfortable, everything about it's fine. This you must have, and I would bring it for all your tournaments. Always throw it in your car when you're going to meet the boater, or just throw it in the boat beforehand. Me as a boater from college, I'll help out with high schoolers as much as possible, but the lifeguards that I have all match my body size instead of, per se, little Johnny who weighs 110 pounds instead of me. So make sure you get one that fits you and specifically you, okay? Next thing I'm gonna preach super big. I have sunglasses. Sunglasses are an absolute must. You have lures flying everywhere, treble hooks going everywhere. You don't have to buy the super expensive ones, but when you take it to the next level, it's very nice to have polarized sunglasses because you can see farther in the water. One thing I'd recommend, if you are going to spend the money on expensive sunglasses, get your son, these are just normal chums. They keep your glasses on your head, so per se I look down in the water and they slip, they'll hold on the back of your head. There's a couple different, I like the wire kind, otherwise like Nitro that we're sitting in right now. Nitro performance glasses, these are the the stretchy kind. I just don't like these as much. I like the wire kind a little bit more. It's preference. So you can go get any pair of sunglasses. They could be $5 from Walmart. It don't matter. Just have sunglasses. And then the next thing I'm going to say is bring your own sunscreen and bug spray. If your kid gets bit up pretty bad, then bring some bug spray. If your kid gets sunburnt really bad like I do, bring some sunscreen. One thing I'm going to tell you is with the aerosol cans, I'm not as big of a fan. I like the lotion kind because some people feel like that if you use the spray can, it can get over all your seats and then make it look bad. So, ask your boater, make sure if they care or not. Defer to the lotion. I know it's not always the most, feel-friendly kind, but for the kids especially. Next thing we're going to go over is what is something that you should do for your kid. And even if you're coming from the co-angler side, what you should bring. So one thing that you should really focus on, because you can, are snacks, okay? So first thing I'm going to mention is drinks. Always have them be able to be resealed bottles. Do not use cans. Cans can spill, they can get everywhere in the carpet. It's not a fun mess up. Just get a bottle so they can reseal it and it's not going to spill. Some people care about the color of the liquid. Cover that with your boater. I don't. It has to be a resealable. If it's Gatorade, great. If it's got pop, sure, great. Whatever they want, whatever they like. The other thing I'm going to bring for little Johnny is I'm going to make him a snack bag. This one's obviously not that full. I just picked 2 granola bars and 2 fruit snacks, and then I would do sandwiches. So if you're the co-angler, make an extra sandwich for that boater. Always double up so the kids can always have one of each, and then they can share it because then you're going to get some brownie points, okay? So this is a really big thing I would suggest doing. And then also, because I'm from the college side, I hate when my boat gets trashy. I hate when wrappers are left around. So if I am the parent, I would make a Ziploc bag that says trash on it, so when the kids finish their snack, they can throw it in there real quick, and then they can take it out, and it's not a hassle for the boater that's already giving you a favor. Next thing I would talk about is your tackle storage systems. So a lot of your boaters will have, especially if it's a dad and a son, or a mom and a son, parent, guardian, and son, however you want to do it, will normally have lots of their tackle in the boat already. But you should bring your own. So it looks like you're bringing your own. And like, let's say you're on a bite. You're going to make your boxes. Let's say it's a topwater bite. because my topwater box is right here. It's a frog popping topwater bait. You're going to bring a lot of your frogs in topwaters because you're hitting topwater, you're going to be fishing topwater. This is based on what you and your partner kind of decide what you're going to be fishing for the tournament. Obviously, bring some other things. You know, make sure you pack a couple jerk baits. Make sure you pack a couple swim jigs. Make sure you pack some terminal tackle so you can do some shaky heads or some offshore items. And, you know, just make sure you have a couple shaky heads, a couple of these, a couple of those. You know, hit the wide variety, but if you're going to be focusing, oh, we're going to do docks. You know, make sure you bring a lot of packs of Senkos. Make sure you bring a lot of skipping jigs, skipping trailers for your jigs. One thing I would recommend is talking to your boater. So these are my two options that I came up with. Old backpack, and this is kind of like a satchel. I like both of them. So we'll talk about the pros and cons. So this one can fit 237 planos and a 3600 series. Super great. It's also got a flap over, seals up really well. It's got a top so you can stuff plastics in front, and then you also got like a storage in the back where if these are the plastics you're using right now, you can use them capable. Next thing I like about it, it's got a little flap down right here. It's got another storage system. I bought this bag for $4. I don't remember where, but it was on sale because one of the zippers was broke. Next thing I'm going to pack, some scissors. They don't have to be Rapala scissors. They can be any kind of scissors you want. Next thing I'm going to pack is a type of pliers. Make sure you bring your own pliers. It's just a nice, handy thing if you have both fish on. I like bringing two sets of pliers. This is my, toothy critter northern, pike, musky, and walleye pliers. So if you have to get back there, you can. And then, just a knife or whatever else you need. Same thing with this, if your boater says you can bring 2 bags, bring 2 bags. Bring as much tackle as you can, but don't make it claustrophobic. Next thing, so if they tell you to bring 1 bag, make sure you only bring 1 bag of tackle, because then they might have more in their boat already. Backpack, kind of the same setup. They got a day bag right here, so if you're running plastics. I put a carabiner on this one because this is what I really like to do. Even so if I'm a co-angler for a bigger tournament, carabiner, they work for all different, brands. Boom. And, you can put more than 1 carabiner, and even see that you can have swim baits on these carabiners. So if you want to bring a lot of plastics, the carabiners are pretty waterproof, more or less, and they work nice. You can put them on each one of the handles, and then you can have a whole bunch of plastics. And then one other thing I would make sure is you bring some of your own line. Just in case, let's say that you guys don't have that much line and you have to re-spool off the same one. That's going to get irritating, so bring your own line. Next thing that is a must, you have to bring, surprisingly, you have to bring your own rods, One thing I would like to tell you is you have to bring 3 rods as a co-angler. That is the minimum. The first rod I'm always going to bring is my GLX medium heavy. There's a 7'1" fast tip. It's an extra fast tip, but it's basically a fast tip. So make sure you bring a medium heavy, around 7 foot, with whatever gear ratio reel they like to use on it. Their line, I'm a braid to floral guy. If you're a floral guy, great. If you're a straight braid guy, great. Use whatever you want. But medium heavy, fast action tip is my first rod. That is a must. My second rod that is a must is my 7'4" Bass X rod. This is a heavy rod that has a fast tip. You can use it more than just frog fishing. You can use it on big football jigs, if you're punching really thick mats. This is more of a multi-purpose rod. You can do a lot more with this than these rods that I'm choosing are all meant to hit more than one type of fishing. This medium heavy can be for cranking, it can be for cranking chatterbaits, swim jigs, throwing Texas rig, it can be for light punching, skipping docks. There's a lot of different capabilities you can do with it. And then the last one I would bring, this is a Mag Light, which is in between a light rod and a medium light, I believe. So otherwise go with a medium light or a medium. This is just the rod I prefer. I like to drop shot. It's something I do a lot. And so one thing you should get is just, you know, a medium light rod with a fast action tip, so you can throw Ned rigs, shaky heads, drop shot, little swim baits. Kind of what you want to throw with the rod and what you're comfortable with is what I would tell you. And those 3 rods are a must. And then let's talk about the last part for the parents. So per se, you know, little Johnny is going out with, it doesn't have to be college, but even like another parent. You should offer a tip. I know a lot of the school programs help fund for the high school, but not really the college level. It gets expensive. Boating is not a cheap venture. And even if you look in the pro series, like the BFLs, normally the BFL co-anglers will tip $20 to $50. You know, you have boat gas, you have boat insurance, maintaining the boat, you know, a lot goes into these boats. So, you know, just offering it is a nice gesture, okay? So that would be one recommendation as well. If you were really good friends with them, you know, maybe they don't want your money, maybe they just like to go out for dinner after the tournament and have dinner, and maybe you buy them a beer or whatever you want. So these are my tips and tricks. Comment below if you have any questions. I'm happy to respond. My name's Taylor Major from Major Outdoors, and I'll see you next time.